Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast. My name is Burton, and full disclosure, this is probably like the third time I've tried to do this intro and outro. I've been having tremendous trouble setting this thing back up since we took it all down to Toledo Death Fest, which I know those episodes are still yet to be released. Trust me, I'm working on them. I have a whole lot of episodes I'm working on in the bank right now. Hopefully, we'll get back to a more regular schedule very, very soon. But without further ado, tonight we are welcoming back Jeffrey Kollnot from Kaptain Kollnot and, of course, Flood the Desert. We talk about their the Oigs Fest show at the Avenue in Lansing. We talk about some of their upcoming shows, and we get deep into the murky waters on some really fascinating paranormal topics. So this is an absolute excellent episode. And without further ado, I'm just going to get out of here. Welcome, help me, Crypt Crow, and welcoming back Mr. Jeffrey Kollnot to the show. Horns up! Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Jeffrey from many solo work, Flood the Desert. Like, we've of course had you on before, and welcome back. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thanks. It's good to be back. Good to meet you officially a couple months back.
That was the first place I was gonna go, honestly, is I finally got to see you play and meet you in person at the Avenue in Lansing, Michigan. I think, I think it was in April.
I think it was that, or very beginning of April. I think it was like April 4th or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it was a couple months ago at this point. And were you playing with Flood the Desert you were playing with Flood the Desert that night.
Yep.
And you were playing you're on guitar, and oh man, some of your guitars are fucking so sick. Like,
sweet. Yeah, that's the one. The one I was playing is the one I got tattooed right here, actually.
Oh,
yeah. Tiffany.
Amazing. And that was kind of part of a little bit of a mini tour. First of all, it was a part, you guys playing was a part of Oigs Fest. I don't know what number. I can't remember what number right now.
4 or 5.
I was gonna say I thought it was 4, but that felt wrong to me. I felt like there was more for some reason. But I think it was Oigs Fest 4. I was there with Alex, formerly of Bog Wraith, and Clint of Recorruptor from Lansing, and we were hanging out and saw a whole bunch of other people we knew. That was a great night in general. And of course got to see you play live with everybody else, and that was a great fucking show. Was that your first time playing the Avenue?
It's my second. Yeah.
Okay.
Played there. I want to say I played there right after COVID lockdowns ended. A little over whenever that was, over a year ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my I think I played there in 20. I can't remember, but it was my second time playing there. Yeah.
Had you ever played anywhere else in Lansing?
I played back when it was a thing, Uli's House of Rock, a couple of times.
Uli.
Yeah. When I was in Blackgate, I played at Max.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Max closed down for a while, but it's back now. It still has a stage and is starting to have rock and metal nights again. They kind of started off with kind of more like smaller stuff than that. In terms of at least production, like DJs and stuff like that, at least is what it seemed like. But yeah, I went in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I hadn't been in since it reopened after pandemic, and I knew that they had done a big remodel and stuff like that. And I'm like, oof, like that place really had a vibe to it that was like Harpo's in Detroit in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And remodeling it, kind of felt like it was ruining it. And in some ways it does feel that way, but in other ways it's still nice. Yeah. Like walls covered in stickers, disgusting bathroom, like,
no bathroom stalls, maybe, you never know. Yeah.
Just all that weird shit that for some reason metalheads love.
Oh yeah, I
Aesthetics.
get a little. I call it Michigan metal grit, but it's probably
Yeah,
that way everywhere. But
a little bit, a little bit. I think other states might have like different things than we do, but it's still fucking whatever their state is great. You know what I mean? Like it's
oh, there was a place I played. I can't remember. It was either Flint or Detroit. The bathroom had like this glass tile that you could look down into the dirt of the foundation.
what?
I can't remember. That might have been New Dodge Lounge in Hamtramck. I think refurbishing the place. I think that was the place where one of the bathroom tiles had glass, like a glass section of the floor that you could look through, which is I guess that's where you put the bodies or something. I don't know.
Yes, especially during Halloween time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, that's crazy though. It's fairly rare someone this is not like a brag or anything like that, but it's fairly rare someone throws a venue at me from Michigan that I've never heard of before. I've never heard of that one personally.
Yeah, I think it just
Especially in
got new
Hamtramck.
ownership. I don't know
Okay.
if they're going to be keeping the name the same, but
Well,
yeah, I think it
hopefully.
was the new Dodge Lounge. I think that's what it was called in Hamtramck.
And
Yeah,
Hamtramck isn't very big, so it can't be far
yeah,
from Smalls or the Sanctuary. I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's got to be close to them. And those are
yeah.
both great venues.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, and so you played the Avenue, of course, Oigs Fest 4, and you played Max, and
Mhm.
Uli's. At the same time as Uli's, we had a place called the Black and Moon, that
Okay,
lasted about as long as Uli's for similar reasons.
got it,
Um,
got it.
but we also used to have this place called the Loft that was amazing. Like we had
Oh,
some.
I've been there,
Okay.
but I haven't played there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair enough. So you saw it at least.
yeah.
That's gone.
Oh wow, I
Um.
did not know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that died. That died right at the beginning of the pandemic. That's been gone.
Okay.
Now it's something stupid, but there are. See, here's the thing: is that there are two new venues opening in Lansing.
Okay.
One of them's already open. The other one is still yet to come. And the one that is still yet to come is supposed to be how I've read it in the news articles and stuff like that. The way it sounds to me is like a mini Fillmore or a mini 20 Monroe Live, a mini thing, like a theater style. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like thing like that. Where they're gonna have like, national acts come through and stuff like that, which what they're hoping for at least. But then this other place that's already opened, and it's in my time since I've been going out to bars, 21 or whatever, it's already been like three or four different things, and they're all like restaurants and stuff like that. Um, but now it's called the Junction, and I swear to God, dude, they had their first fucking metal show there like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and a photographer that the headlining band hired to take photographs of them while they were on stage got fucking beat the fuck up by a security guard
Really?
and thrown out. And apparently the owner was like on the side of the security guard, and like it was an issue. There
Oh
was
damn.
a big issue. And it's like the first fucking metal show you have. And then the fucking one of the next posts I see from them for the next, like, one of the next metal shows that's coming through, they're like, "You're home for mid-Michigan metal." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." Like, you can't have your first metal show and have a problem like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
come on. It's a bad look.
I don't
Bad look.
usually hear about that kind of stuff very often. I've heard about it like 30, 40 years ago where it was some blues artist. He was outside. I don't know the name, but he was outside the venue and he was trying to get in because he was performing. And like, security says, no, quit making up stories. And then the dude beat him up or something. This might have been in the 50s or 60s.
Oh my God.
It was like a blues artist, but there's probably some racism involved, I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah.
But you don't really hear, at least I don't hear too many stories of security doing that right
I mean,
away.
I mean, typically no. Like the most, the most that we'll hear about nowadays, usually,
Mhm.
is that video that went viral recently of Randy Bly walking on stage to perform with Lamb of God, and the security guard stopped him, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, I'm the lead singer of the band." And like, "Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay." And they're like, "No." And Randy was like, "No, no, no, no. You're just doing your job. Thank you, thank you." And there was like, it was a very nice interaction, but the video
Yeah.
went viral. Um, and usually that's what you'll see, but apparently, and who knows what. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. People say what they say, whatever, whatever, whatever. But I did see a lot of comments and posts in support of the photographer, and a lot of people saying, yeah, that guy was kind of acting a little bit like weird all night, and clearly kind of wanted to get in a fight for some
Yeah.
reason. Like he was kind of giving off that kind of energy, at least to people. At least that's how they interpreted his energy. And and that's what ended up. I guess he fucking choke slammed the fucking photographer and shit. Like it was bad. Like fucking police got called, like whole thing. So not a good
Wow.
look to have at your first metal show. And for the
No.
record, the headlining band, I mean, a very, very big local Lansing band, probably one of the biggest to ever come out of Lansing. And, like they are fucking, they have really hard songs, but they also have really soft songs. So it's, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, how hard was even the show? You know what I mean? Like it could have been kind of in the middle, and
Mhm.
like, yeah, just fucking. I was planning on going to that show too. I just had to like work very early the next morning, and I worked late that previous night. So it was like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking, like, I have 8 hours to sleep. I'm not gonna spend three of them at the show, Um,
For sure. Yeah.
but
Definitely.
it it just, it really bummed me out when I saw that personally. It just really bummed me out. I was like, finally, a venue opens back up in Lansing, and has a metal concert, and this happens. Like, and it's not on the fault of any fans or any
Yeah.
of the bands.
Hmm.
It's entirely the venue to me in that situation. And that's just a bummer because people hear about that, and they're and less bands are gonna want to play there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see how they'll change their act,
Yeah.
or if they will, or what'll happen.
Nothing yet, and this was like a
Yeah.
few weeks ago now. So,
Yeah. For sure. Damn.
but yeah, weird. So,
Uh-huh.
if a show offer ever comes up, place is called the Junction now. So, maybe just, keep an eye out. I don't know. Just saying,
No problem.
throwing
Yeah.
that out there. Because I
Yeah.
know also, you said you did tell me, you did text me recently, before we saw each other at Oigs Fest, that you were playing at, I think, the Machine Shop in Flint with a cover
Yeah.
band. And what
Yeah.
was that band?
That's Revelations since Iron Maiden tribute. And
Yes.
yeah, that was actually my first time playing Machine Shop, and that
No
was
way.
actually really cool.
Had you'd been there before as a fan though, right?
Actually, no, I had not.
That
That
was
was
your
my first.
first time at the Machine Shop?
Yeah, I was playing there. Yeah.
How amazing is that place?
Oh, it was great, and it was
Incredible.
pretty sold out. I mean, we were playing with Four Horsemen, Metallica tribute out of
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Yep.
they're out of Ohio. I always want to say Pennsylvania, but I think they're
They,
out of Ohio.
they play Michigan a lot.
Oh
A
yeah, they
lot.
come through here a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing a Megadeth tribute briefly, which that's probably I don't have time for anymore. But that and there's lineup fluctuations and stuff. But that we played
Fair
with
enough.
them up in Saginaw at the Vault, I think it was.
I've never been to a show.
It,
Maybe I have been to a show in Saginaw, but it was at, like, do they have like a DeVos Performing Center up there or something? Or is that Grand
no,
Rapids?
that's Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they might. I don't know. I think the
Oh
Voss did.
no, I went to Saginaw, to the Temple Theater for like that. Never mind. That's not metal. It was a paranormal thing.
Oh, cool, cool. Oh, I think I saw. Yeah, I think I know
Haunted
that theater.
Saginaw.
I know that theater you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep. 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 The Temple Theater in downtown
Hmm.
Saginaw. Yep. Beautiful
Oh yeah.
theater. Beautiful
Mhm.
theater. But
Beautiful.
where did you play in Saginaw again?
the vault. It's kind of like a mid-size. I don't want to say theater concert room. It's got a balcony. I want to say it holds maybe 800 to 1,000 people.
That's pretty big.
Something. It's mid-size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so with Flood the Desert, I obviously just saw you guys live for the first time a couple months ago. Anything like, I never know how to ask this. Like anything new to report?
Yeah.
Like, you guys recording anything new?
Yeah, there is. There's some news. Part of it, I think, is just getting people caught up. Whoever might have been on my first podcast here. I think that was a little over a year ago. Can't remember. It was May of last year. May. Yeah,
it was a year ago.
I think it was a year ago, or close to a year ago.
Again, just to reiterate, you can come back anytime you want.
Oh,
you don't have to wait a year.
Well, I don't know how often you keep your guests on.
Yeah, I'll have you on every week. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay. All right.
I really don't care.
We'll figure it out. But no, after that, I think that was then we had an album release called Where the Red Poppies Grow. And that was, we did a CD release for that, and that is for a while it was just on Bandcamp, but now it's almost going to be, well, we're waiting to get the masters finalized to the right format. It's going to be on all the major streamers, and we've got the previous records are now on all the major streaming platforms.
So all the previous records are available on Spotify, Apple, probably Bandcamp,
Pandora. Yeah, Bandcamp is
Pandora.
On there.
Yep.
So yeah, we do like a digital distributor. You pay them like $50, and they'll put it out on tons of services, all the main ones and a bunch of obscure ones. So that's pretty cool. So we're waiting for that to be finalized. In the meantime, end of last year, we got a new drummer, and that was the guy you saw with us.
Fantastic.
And we got a couple new tracks, being progressive metal, they tend to be longer, like 8 to 10 minutes on some of them on average. So we'll do a couple more and see if that's enough for a full length. But end of this year, early next year, we kind of want to start recording another one, or later this year. And that's being written as we speak,
Fantastic.
right now.
And, to be honest, like
on their shows too, but we can talk about that later.
You definitely do, like, when I saw you live, you definitely, and on the albums and everything, like, you do have like kind of longer songs, but then it's so hard to, it really does. It's so fucking hard to say, because there are so many songs that I like that are a flat 2 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Super short. But then, there's a million that I like that are in the middle, and a million that I like that are a lot more. But your songs, while they lean on the longer side, when you go to see Flood the Desert live, you don't, like, it doesn't feel like a long song. Like, when it ends, it's just like, oh, I want more immediately. Cool. Immediately.
I guess. Yeah, go ahead.
No. It's just like everything, and the new like that. Granted, this is the first time I saw you live, but of course I've heard the previous music and stuff like that. The new drummer sounded amazing. Vocalist, your guitar, like, everything just meshed together really well. The night that I saw you, and it just, like, it didn't really feel, the songs didn't feel long, put it that way.
Cool.
And they left me wanting more, certainly.
That's cool. I'm glad. Thanks for that. I'm glad you dig that. I guess this might come across as tuning around horn or whatever, but I think some of it that might come down to trying to make the song as interesting as possible. Or
they were. That's a good way to put it. They were very interesting. They kept me guessing. I didn't know what was coming next, so that's why it didn't feel long.
Long songs can come in different varieties. Like an
Yeah.
example I like to use, for instance, Iron Maiden, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Yeah, 14 minutes long, but you don't feel like it's long. It's just you keep what's next,
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
well, for that one in particular, yes. Like,
Yeah.
but some of the more recent albums, I'm kind of like, give me a 2.5 minute banger.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Now that their long songs are just kind of repeating,
Very repetitive.
they'll repeat a progression, then they'll all take turns soloing, and then
Yeah.
it's just
and then they'll do a change up and then it'll repeat that exact same pattern.
Yeah, to me that's not
It's just a
the
little
optimal long song.
right.
For me
Right.
anyway.
And not to say we don't love Iron Maiden.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Not to say that I don't even like their newer albums. It's just like, man, like with how good, because clearly you're all kind of showing off right now a little bit because you're all amazing musicians. Give me that hit. Give me another banger. Just give me one album of 3-minute songs that just rip. Like,
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and on some of their more recent ones, like they will have like a shorter song, and it's usually my favorite song on the album. Like it's usually the one I go back to. And obviously they're always amazing.
Oh yeah, I've seen them like good 4 or 5 times now. So
and you're even in a fucking tribute band. So like as being in the Iron Maiden tribute band, what are your as a guitarist, what are some of your favorite like Iron Maiden songs to play live?
Let's see. I like Power Slave a lot. The Trooper, that's classic. That's always good.
It's so fun to play. It is so fun because your fingers just move so much, but like that's a really fun one to play.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of Revelation's a song, actually. That's a cool one. A lot of cool harmony work.
You play that live? That's long. Like that's pretty.
Yeah. Well, on a headline show in the past, we played Rime of the Ancient Mariner. So, I mean,
wow.
In the past, it hasn't been playing in a while because usually we're playing like hour sets, and we don't want to take up that much time.
Sure.
But we played it. We played it in the past. Fear of the Dark. That's great.
Oh, that's another one of my favorite. Yeah, that's one of my favorites to play too.
Let me see what do I really like? Oh, The Prisoner. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, The Prisoner is a great one. Yeah.
Absolutely one of my favorite songs of all time. That's How long have you been in the tribute band?
I've been with them off and on since 2015.
Holy shit.
Because I moved. Well, I don't know if we covered this in the past, but I was out in Colorado for about a year and a half. Then I was briefly living in Wisconsin, and then the Iron Maiden tribute Iron Maiden tribute and some family stuff brought me back to Michigan. Because I don't know if you're familiar with 20 Monroe in Grand Rapids.
Yes, I am. Very, yes.
We got some offers to play there with some other tributes a couple of times, and that was like my first time playing like a venue that size. I'm like, well,
wonderful venue. Wonderful.
Yeah, venue. I was like, if I'm, I'd never played it to like more than 1,000 people before, like I did when I was there, which was awesome. And so yeah, I kind of in some ways, the tribute act kind of pulled me back to Michigan, music wise. There's Colorado. That's like a whole other side story. I had some music stuff going out there too, but that's a whole other side rant. But yeah, off and on since 2015.
So almost 10 years now. And
if you want to look at it that way, yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, 20 Monroe like really is because Lansing lost a lot of their venues due to the pandemic, and I'm very, very thankful that a lot of like the Machine Shop, 20 Monroe, Orbit Room, Harpo's, St. Andrews, the Sanctuary, a lot of these venues, these amazing venues throughout the state, didn't they didn't die. They were able to somehow stay alive through all that. And I'm very thankful we still have all of them. The 20 Monroe probably being on the list that I just gave, probably being the newest. And
yeah.
and genuinely the I think I've been there 3 or 4 times. And for anybody from Michigan, especially the Grand Rapids area, it's literally right across the street from Van Andel. Like literally right across the street from where you might have gone to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra or Metallica or tons of huge acts have played there. And it's an amazing venue because like it was I remember walking in there for the first time and like going into the main lobby and getting, you gotta get checked in and all that shit. And then you get to like the main kind of area and there's like a bar and and a merch booth. And then you have all these amazing like classic theater style doors with like the hole in the middle, that you push open and you walk through. And the second you walk through onto that main floor, it's like all the sound, everything gets muffled. It's like immediately. And I was like, oh, this room was literally built for sound. And it was one of and I saw Lamb of God there, and it was one of the best times I ever heard Lamb of God, because in other places, like when I see Lamb of God at the Fillmore, it's sometimes hard to hear Randy's vocals. Not at 20 Monroe. Like everything sounds perfect there. It's insane. Like it's a great venue. Really is.
Oh, that reminds me, the Orbit Room was recently demolished. Yeah. Not necessarily great sounding, but a lot of concerts there. Lots of concerts there.
The fucking memories I have at the Orbit.
Oh yeah, Room,
same. I saw fucking Megadeth there.
I did too. Yeah.
Really?
Multiple times. Yeah.
Dude, we might have been at one of the same shows.
Well, I know we talked about Bodum and Black Label Society. I think we were both at that. We were both at that one. I think.
Yep. I met Shadows Fall at that show once, or at that venue once. Like saw tons of shit at that venue. Oh man. It was so good. Yeah, I love that place. That was one of the first times, like, and I know I'm sure I said this in the last time we did a podcast, but hey, it's been a year. People forget.
Not again, more than a week. So it's been a long time.
All right. No, that was the first time I saw a circle pit going fast enough inside where it like you could feel the wind coming off of it.
Okay.
It was crazy. Oh, I loved that venue. Oh no, but yeah, the intersection is still there. Yeah, intersection. It was the Orbit Room and the intersection for a long time.
Intersection has 4 different rooms now. They got the main room.
Yep.
They got the elevation below, and then there's the stash, and there's like a back room to the elevation. And I played most of those rooms at this point. So that's pretty cool.
And I'll tell you what, I haven't been to the intersection. I think the last time I was at the intersection was either 2018 or 19 for sure, because my friends from Lansing and the band Recorruptor were opening for Cannibal Corpse and Hate Unbound, or Hate Eternal. Sorry, Hate Eternal. With Eric Rutan, before Eric Rutan was in the band. This was still when Pat was in Cannibal Corpse. And it was the loudest show I have ever been to in my entire. I fucking blew out an eardrum that night. It was hands down the loudest show. I went because, as you know, in the main room at the Orbit Room, the bathrooms are all the way at the back of the room. Yep. So I went all the way back to go to the restroom, and the fucking stalls were shaking like they were vibrating, dude. It was the loudest show I have ever. It is the show that made me go, maybe I should start wearing earplugs. Like it was that, like it, like I couldn't hear out of my right ear for like weeks.
Oh,
Like it
damn.
was insane. It was insane. Like it is one of the and I've seen some amazing shows there, you know, Children of Bodom, Amon Amarth, you know, Black Dahlia, you know, Cannibal. Um or Intersection's a great venue. I love that venue. My only thing about fucking Grand Rapids is that sometimes the crowds just aren't as they're a little bit standoffish. They're a little bit more
Yeah.
standoffish than like Detroit and Flint. You know what I mean? Like they're a little bit
Yeah.
like they kind of sit back and cross their arms a little bit more than get crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I guess it's just don't have the spirit, all of them. And I'll admit that.
or or
The
or
further you go east, it gets a little better. A lot of times, not always, but you know.
I mean, to me, it's always just like maybe a lot of them have it like because because all these shows come through their city. Maybe they haven't gone to Detroit and Flint and experienced that as much. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? But but either way, great venues, great, amazing, amazing. What I mean, I know this is kind of so okay. So real quick, we have. I don't know why fucking, and I can cut this out, but like I don't know why fucking Zoom is doing this, but it's putting me on a timer lately. I
Mm.
don't understand. Like it gives us like, yeah, I guess it looks like it gives us like 30 minutes to record, and then we have to call each other back. Um,
Really?
yeah, it did this with Keith from the Convalescents too. I don't know why, but it didn't do it on the last interview I did. So it's like doing it sometimes and not every time. I don't know. It was really weird. But either way, we still have 6 minutes. We'll still keep
Oh,
going,
okay.
and then like 30 seconds before it ends, I'll end it and I'll just call you right back and we'll keep going for another half hour or so. Um, but so and I know this is kind of like and I probably asked you this the last time, but maybe it's different now. Um, what okay, actually no. Last time I asked you what your favorite venue to play in Michigan is. This time I want to ask you, what is your favorite city in Michigan to play in?
Oh, that's tough. Um, I could easily
Yeah,
say Grant.
that's gotta yeah, because that's your hometown. And on top of that, you have your own band, you have cover bands. I'm sure crowds are different in different places at those different places. You know what I mean? Like that's actually kind of a real hard question for you, is it? How it feels.
Well, I mean, I played so many places in Grand Rapids. Some have had better crowds, but yeah, I might just have to go with that because that's where most of my experiences.
I
You know,
mean, that's fair. That's fair.
places
Yeah.
like Mulligan's, Pyramid Scheme. I've had some great shows at those places. So, um, yeah, you know that Hamtramck show was a lot of fun, and I guess maybe close second Detroit. You know,
I mean, that's kind of what I would imagine, like wherever
yeah,
you're from, and then Detroit.
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of because Detroit gets fucking crazy. Like,
And so does Flint. So did Flint. You know,
oh yeah, they do. Oh
yeah.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're thirsty for it. Like that's why I love them so much. Like I love those places. It's amazing. The best shows I've ever seen in my entire life have been in Flint and Detroit. Yeah,
Mhm.
by far.
Oh yeah.
Fucking yeah. I was just talking about some of this shit to somebody the other day, but yeah, like ah, incredible, incredible. So I guess you know what? No, not yet. Sorry, thinking out loud, people. You said you got some new songs you're working on. Uh
Yeah,
and
we do.
what was the most recent show you played? I feel like that was
Oh, let me think. I should know that. we played. It was a Grand Rapids show at a place called Turnstiles. That was about a month ago.
I've heard of
4 or
that
5.
place, but I haven't been there.
Yeah, it's been a couple of different places. Not bad. Kind of a nice big, not too big, but big open room with a bar and a stage, and we've got some curtains up for acoustics, which is helping it out a little bit. But
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely should. Do you know who's coming? Do you know what's happening at the Pyramid Scheme? This coming up. And for the record, everybody, this might be coming out after this, but on Saturday, we're in June, right? Yeah, Saturday, June 24th, this upcoming Saturday at the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids. Did you see that show that's coming?
Maybe.
It's the Convalescence headlining with War.
Okay, I saw that they were coming, but I didn't know where.
Yep, Pyramid Scheme on Saturday, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to be there yet because I do have other plans that were made before that got announced, and I'm like, I kind of want to cancel and go to the show, but I haven't decided yet. I don't know because it's like family shit, so it's like feel bad, but I really, really want to go because I tell you what, I saw them a couple weeks ago and top of their fucking game, bro. Top of their fucking game. Like
awesome.
It's good. That show on Saturday is going to be fucking insane. Absolutely gnarly. And I think it is the second to last date on the tour. So they're going to fucking bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to bring it for sure.
Yeah, the most recent national show I saw was Fear Factory with their new singer. That was also early April. That was really good. Yeah. Intersection main room.
Oh God. I've seen Divine Heresy, but I've never I've seen Dino at least, but I've never seen Fear Factory. I love Fear Factory.
Was that way back in like 2008?
Yes.
Majestic
Operation Annihilation tour at Harpo's with Static X headline.
Oh, that was different. I saw him with Dark Tranquility, Arch Enemy, and what was that?
Oh,
the band that Gus G is from.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it. Band. You got me.
Power metal band, but I can't remember their name.
Yes. But all right, here, we're down to less than 1 minute. So literally right now, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to end this completely and then send you a new link and then just link back up. Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. 1 second. I'm so sorry about this.
It's not a good day to be a bad guy.
What's up, metalheads? This is Wayne.
And Michelle.
And we are from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And you are listening to
Burton and Aaron on the Lost in the Dark podcast.
Raise your horns.
Hello, my friends. My name is Burton, and I am the host of the Michigan metal podcast, Lost in the Dark podcast. And I would like to introduce you to an all-new, all-paranormal podcast called Follow the Reaper, where I examine all true first or second-hand listener-submitted paranormal or unexplainable encounters of any kind. So if you or anyone you know has a story that they would like to share or have shared on the show, please reach out to us on social media or Gmail at Follow the Reaper Podcast. I would love to hear from you. And of course, please enjoy this episode of Lost in the Dark.
You there?
Yep, I can hear you. Beautiful. And we're already recording, so
all right.
We can just get back into it.
The Gus G band, power metal band. I can't remember the name, but yeah.
Fuck it. Let's look it up.
I was going to do that, but I'm using my phone. I'm using that to record. And I don't want to.
No, you're good.
mess it all
We don't
up.
have, we don't have any extra producers here, so we got to do everything. We got to do everything ourselves. Well, Gushy was in Arch Enemy, and Ozzy, of course. Let's see here. I guess discography. Firewind solo,
Yeah.
Ozzy, Firewind. All right,
Firewind.
there we go.
What it was there.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. So we're kind of in the second half of the episode then.
Want me to plug those upcoming FTD shows real quick?
Yes, certainly.
All right.
Yeah. So these are the shows for Flood the Desert. Coming up.
Yeah. First one is July 8th. That's Grand Rapids Mulligans. Then next one's going to be September 1st. It's going to be in Lansing at the Avenue.
I'll be there.
Yeah. And that, I want to say Room 101 might have also been playing, but don't quote me on that 100% because I could be totally wrong. And also 923 back to Mulligans at Grand Rapids. So 3 on the books right now. We'll see what keeps coming as the year goes on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot more will come. And those are all with Flood the Desert.
For the time being.
Yes. Any shows with like the Iron Maiden tribute band or anything else coming up?
Not. There probably will be fall, winter announced, but right during the summer, everybody's busy with their families and stuff. So
fair.
5 guys, it's hard to get them all aligned on this stuff, you know.
I understand
Especially,
that completely. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like a touring act, so they have everybody's doing their own side shit stuff. So yeah,
absolutely. So real quick before we get out of here, not real quick, hopefully. Actually, but you when we saw each other, we met in person for the first time at the Avenue in Lansing. You did tell me that you have some new paranormal stories to tell me. And
yeah.
I am you have not told me any of these at all yet. So I'm gonna hear these. Yeah, no. Like I think I might have told you not to. Like I was like, save it. I want to be surprised. So I'm very excited to hear. So if you could, any new stuff you got. But what one thing I will say real quick, because you did send me a video that I can play on here if you get to that. And I think it was part of the Magine stuff.
Magina. Yeah.
Magina. Sorry. And if you do get to that at any point, for myself and the listeners, kind of just explain what that is again. That would be cool.
Yeah, I was probably gonna explain it anyway because I'm confident they're the root cause of a lot of this stuff in general. Yeah. Not all of it, but a lot. So real quick, what that is a crypto-terrestrial interdimensional future human that's part of the UFO phenomenon, but also manifests itself in paranormal activity as well. So when you see objects moving around, doors opening, shutting, stuff getting thrown around, you basically got a person in a tech suit that has a cloaking capability, also allows levitation, telepathy, intangibility, so phase shifting through solid objects. So that's what that is, and you know that's news to a lot of people, but
so it's some kind of extraterrestrial / interdimensional being with a super tech suit, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, you get kind of weird with the terms, but crypto-terrestrials is probably more accurate because
I like that.
It's genetically related to us. It's 50. There's different variants, but the main one is 52,000 years ahead of us, and its motivation for being here is genetic because they've tampered with their own DNA a lot. They've got a lifespan of 700 plus years, but it came at a cost. A messed up immune system, so they get susceptible to disease. They have slow healing, so they've kind of damaged themselves, and by reintegrating with our DNA. It's strengthening their genome. And I've done a lot of research on this stuff, so I'm not just making all that up. I'm sure somebody could say it's not like just making all that up, but that's what I've kind of come to realize and stuff. So,
and we definitely went a lot deeper into the origins of this on the first episode that you did.
Oh,
with
yeah.
me. So if you want more on that, go back or just look up the Magina on YouTube.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's plenty out there. So this is because of course everybody knows on this podcast I always like to ask everybody if they've had any type of paranormal experience, and these are and you come to me with sort of a new sort of explanation that I've never heard before for this sort of thing. So what new stuff has happened?
I mean, there was probably a bunch last year that happened after we last recorded. Like, I'll just try to run through some of them and then kind of get some of the more recent ones. But Hell's Bridge, went there a couple times, and I was talking about it with you right around that time.
That's out near Grand Rapids, right?
Yeah, it's a little north of me. But
I've been there. Yep.
So went there. My girlfriend, my bass player buddy of mine went there, and we were playing this thing called the Sierra Sounds, which is on my Exodus from Orion song. It's like their natural language, which is like guttural samurai speak mixed with animal mimicry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't a lot of people associate that with like Bigfoot?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But I think they're wrong.
Right,
So
just to give people an idea. Like, yeah.
And I think the Bigfoot may actually be associated with cryptoterrestrials as well, but he's been spotted with UFO, or he or she, whatever's been seen with UFOs, allegedly,
the animal.
But yeah, it is often associated with Bigfoot, but without wasting too much time with all the different research, people have heard those sounds in other settings and so on and so forth. But we played those, and then my girlfriend, I wasn't there to witness this. I saw weird fluorescent lights floating around, but she saw wispy silhouettes like crawling around her. One even touched her back, and we think that was their children, because it was like their arms are longer than us, so they're like running on all fours. And then my buddy saw in the trees like two red eyes like ascending the tree, and it was like an outline of a big 7 foot tall shaped individual. And then had a bit of a doppelganger stuff happen after that. That doppelganger hitchhiker effect for me, because I was like trying to communicate stuff, had some real bizarre dreams where I don't know if it was a dream or if it was a state of a trance, where I saw one walk right past the window, and when I saw it, I became absolutely terrified, like primal fear, because it was like I actually saw it and my mind wasn't ready for it at that point. Then I woke up terrified, it was like cliche, it's they're here, I said. And my my girlfriend said, are they really here, or was you sleeping? I don't know if I missed time or what. And there was a couple other times where I felt like I had woken up and I felt like I had just been dropped down on the bed. Like I just felt like I'd recently been moved. So that I can't prove that was like an abduction, but it was just like I had the sense that I was being moved around, but not by me, or anybody known to me. So there's a couple weird things like that. I went back to Hell's Bridge. I knew there's a bunch of their kids around, so I know they're like kids like anybody else. So I left a package of like toys with the Orion's insignia on it, hid it in a spot where we saw them crawling up in the trees, and then went back 2 days later. It was gone. And then, I felt like sort of doing like, I think I talked about CE5 or where you kind of try to meditate, mentally reach out. I did a session of that, and I felt like somebody was listening. And then I said, can you show me a sign that package was received? And then you know, next day while I was driving to work, the car radio turned on by itself. And that's never happened to me in like 40 years of life. You know, that could be explained by, oh yeah, you know, you had an electrical issue, but it was just, that doesn't really happen too often, where at least I've never had a systems in my car just turn on by itself, and it never happened since.
In general, I feel like most of the issues we have with electronics are them turning off when we don't want them to, not on.
So that never,
in my experience at least,
that never repeated itself. Not since. So yeah, there was that. I'm trying to remember what else. You know, some highly anomalous dreams, which, you know, they can hack into dreams, but I can't really prove that. That's just kind of hearsay. If I say, oh, I had a dream where I was talking to somebody, you know, I mean, but we'll get to the extra juicy stuff if you know, if that's cool.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So, buddy of mine, Colorado, he's had, that's where that orb video he filmed was. I think that was taped in 2021.
Okay, do you want to here? Let's real quick. Let's just so people watching know what we're talking about. Let me do. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've done this. Oh shit! No, not that. How do you do this? Or maybe I can't right now because my Zoom's fucking up.
That's all right. I mean, I can.
You know what? I can just edit it in. But yeah, it's
okay.
basically a video of an orb, like a light, a floating beam or a floating orb of light.
Yeah, it was in actuality it was blue, but it came out a little greenish on the camera.
Little green, little white, yeah.
Then it kind of floats around, and then it eventually it'll go off and go through the wall. And he goes around trying to film it, make sure there wasn't anything weird else going on. But before that happened, he saw one of their faces, which is kind of like an exaggerated Reese Witherspoon, kind of long and triangular. And he's like, "Get the fuck out of the house!" It was like down the hallway in the basement or something. Then it disappeared. Then the lights flickered, and then the orb appeared. There's lots of cases in ufology where beings often transform in and out of orbs, like they're like kind of almost like a transportation medium. That's one theory. They see people or objects materialize in and out of these orbs. So I think that's what that was. But anyway, he's been having regular strange occurrences. So I went there to visit this buddy of mine, wants to remain anonymous at this point, back in March. And we had doors opening by themselves, you know, not always witnessing it, but we look over and the doors open, and, you know, nobody had done that, obviously, things like that. Also did an EVP. I don't have that file immediately available, but where I began talking, and we got these, we couldn't hear it, but when we listened back to it, we heard these screechy screams that were identical in pitch to some of the stuff I ironically enough used on my Orion song. That was the same type of vocalization, the same type of pitch. So that was pretty cool. Also lots of snaps and bangs that are associated with portals opening. You know, I don't know if I went into that rant before about different size of crashes and booms, you know, symbolizing a portal opening.
Right.
And that's actually happens quite a bit in these cases.
I've heard of that before. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you smell a rotten egg or sulfur.
Right.
That's like an atmospheric disturbance. He was having big problems with hearing these snaps, like a whippersnapper. And then it smelled like sulfur, and then the feeling of being watched and shadowy figures. And all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, So it's
And-
like, okay. So what then what does this theory say? Like, okay, so if like the shadow figures, the feeling of being watched, the what was the other thing you said?
Oh, the portal stuff, or
Portals, but yeah, portals, yeah, like
Yeah.
the things being watched, shadow figures, or people being watched, feeling of being watched,
Yeah.
shadow figures, all that stuff. Uh, if that's all coming through some kind of a portal, where does this does this theory say, where does that portal go to? Like,
Oh,
what
I guess
is
the portals can be set up anywhere and to go to anywhere. It's kind of, the portal could just be, okay, they're somewhere else on Earth, and they can, the way they have control over space time, they can just calculate the destination, so to speak.
but could it
I mean, that's
also,
my limited understanding of it.
but you just had space time. So
Yeah.
that could it be portals to the same place in space but different time?
For them, time definitely, because I know, well, the author Ryan Musgrave Evans, he's had some experiences where he remembers where they took him to third star in Orion's belt, but it was their third star in Orion's belt, which is a dimension that's 52,000 years ahead of ours. So basically they've it's not as sci-fi as hell, but they've basically mastered space time.
That is another, well, see, and mastering it, like that's another kind of,
I don't know about mastering it, but they can use
well,
it.
like even using it, like anything to do with it, like still on Earth, at least on Earth specifically, because that's really our only perspective is humans. My issue with it is it's like, okay, if I want to travel back in time, we are currently on a speck of dust floating through infinite nothingness. Yes, but we're floating at like millions of miles a second. And so if I were to go back in time, wouldn't I just show up in space? Wouldn't I just immediately suffocate and die in space? Like, because Earth isn't there, or I'm going back in time to a time where Earth was there at that point in time.
I don't know the specifics of how they keep the location tracked, but
ultimately, what is
I do know experiencers have been shown, say, a location, and then they'll telepathy, okay, this building used to be used as a hospital, and then he's shown an image of it being destroyed, and then 5 years later it was destroyed. Then the dude looked into it and said, oh yeah, 20 years ago, oh, it was a hospital. So they can, I don't know, it's Tom DeLonge made it sound, so I talk like it's like you're shifting a dial. You can like look at a certain place in time, in space, and kind of phase shift the time dial. I don't know if that's an analogy. I don't know about, when they're traveling, if it loses track of the location or not, or if they tie it to the location because it's space and time. I don't know. But
right.
I'm not an expert. I just geek out on the shit. So
no, that's what I'm saying. That's ultimately is that like this shit is just really, really fun to talk about. Like, it is so much fun, and it's a trip because like ultimately, like with our current understanding of shit, or let me rephrase that, current accepted in big ass quotation marks.
Oh yeah.
Understanding of shit, it's there are certain boundaries, there are certain rules, but yet there are a ton of things that seem to break those rules, and we don't have an explanation for that. We live in a world where I can street view a whole lot of shit from Google Maps or Google Earth or whatever. But there are literally massive, massive parts of land on this planet right now where no fucking camera has ever filmed. Ever. There are undiscovered tribes of humans. There are undiscovered species. We're discovering new shit constantly. Like we're sitting here thinking like because you and I are currently what, an hour or so away from each other, and we're fucking talking to each other like this, and I can street view anything on Google Maps and all this shit. We think we have it figured out, but this is elementary, my dear Watson. This is fucking This is elementary. We are still children of the stars. We still have no real understanding of what's going on around us. So,
and I get irritated with certain, I'm not going to name drop, but certain celebrity, I'll even call them pseudoscientists, who just kind of, they don't come right out and say it, but they pretend they have all the answers, and they'll ridicule anything and everything. And it's like, oh, that could never happen. It's like, no, it could. You're wrong. I'm not like some big shot. I can't go out and disclose anything, but I've had my own weird experiences. I know some of these people are just full of it. But
I mean, I've spent ever since I literally said this earlier today to somebody else. It's kind of weird, it's coming up again. But I have spent ever since I've been like on my own as an adult and all that shit, I've spent all my time railing against it. But I was when I was under the care of my parents, I was raised in the Catholic Church. And that in figuring out all the bullshit, the hypocrisy, and everything wrong with everything that is organized religion, I kind of came to the conclusion where that led me to the conclusion where anybody that comes at you that says they have answers is fucking lying. They are fucking lying to your face. Nobody has a fucking answer. Not a single human on earth can tell you why we're here, what we're here for, if anything has any meaning, or if everything is meaningless. Like Carl Sagan, we are infinite dust floating on infinite nothing, floating in infinite nothingness. And all this does is underscore our reality. I'm paraphrasing, but to be more kind to one another, because we are all we have. Earth is our last stand. And it's not, I'm not like being feudalist or anything like that, but like it ultimately, to me, like realizing that we are nothing and everything is meaningless means that we should bring more meaning to one another, be kind, and always be kind, and always be good, and just like treat everyone the way you would want to be treated, all those sort of things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, because if everything is meaningless, then that's the best we can do. Like, it's or you could go the other way and everything is meaningless and just be that. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but like I end up finding meaning through heavy metal music, through art, through music, through movies, through this fucking podcast, through friends, through family, all these things that matter. Ultimately, you get to a point where you're like, these things matter to me as an individual. It doesn't matter if they matter to anybody else. It's to me as an individual. And even if it's all dog shit, at least I got to experience this, and these things made me happy. When I go to a Slayer concert or a Flood the Desert concert, and then the hair stands up on the back of my neck because that's so fucking awesome. Or I go to a Marvel movie and Iron Man's flying around, and I'm like, that shit. That's what matters. Or when I'm with my family at Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever the fuck anybody celebrates, like and you're happy because you're around the people that you love. These are the things that matter. Ultimately, that's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else out there, so that we know of yet. So that's all that's been proven, is that we're here together right now. and that's what should matter. Yeah. Sorry for that rant. Oh my God.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I mean, it's just, sometimes like getting into the paranormal stuff, getting into the philosophical stuff. That's kind of where it leads me, and I'm still out there looking. I'm still constantly looking for anything paranormal. Like I'm planning on doing. Have you heard, there's a fucking new, well, there's actually one in Lansing too, but there's a new, how do you call it? It's called the Horror Museum. It's in Monroe, Michigan. Have you heard of this?
I have not actually. I've heard of them in other states, I think. But yeah.
Bro, we need to go to this one. Because we need to go to this together, actually, would be fantastic. Because it's owned and operated by a gentleman named Nate Thompson, and he is a filmmaker. And I was actually an extra in one of his movies that is not out yet, called Cult Affairs, that featured the Convalescents. And so I was like in the crowd at a Convalescent show. Like we did a little filming down at the Main Street Bar and Grill in Toledo, Ohio. Like I think it was like 2 years ago now. And the movie's not out yet or anything, but that's fine. Whatever. I know this shit takes a long time. But he owns and operates the Horror Museum in Monroe, Michigan, and it's filled with oddities and haunted items. And like he does haunted walking tours of Monroe. He also allows from like 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. You can pay like, I don't know, it's not that expensive, like $30-40, and like do like a paranormal investigation of the museum and stuff like that. Like I'm really anxious to do that. Like, and he does it like all the time. Like, definitely, I'll send it to you on Facebook. You got to follow it. He's constantly doing stuff, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Like, that's one we should definitely. What, if any, because there are a few in Lansing and obviously a lot in the Detroit area. What are some like haunted locations that you want to check out in the Grand Rapids area besides like Hell's Bridge? I've been to Hell's Bridge. If you want to hear about Hell's Bridge, go back and listen to Jeff and I's first episode, because we talked a lot about that one. But anything else?
There's a supposed to be a haunted bar. I want to say it's Jay and Finks. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the bar. I'm drawing a blank here.
What do you remember? Like, what part of is it in Grand Rapids proper?
Yeah. Well, it's like it's not far from me, so it's like northeast side of Grand Rapids.
Northeast side Grand Rapids.
I think it's called Flanagan's or something like that.
Okay.
Haunted bar. There's a haunted graveyard in Ada.
Wait. Does it have a witch?
Yeah.
Heard of an Ada witch?
There's the Ada witch, and I'm trying to remember her associated graveyard, but yeah, that's it. That's an Ada.
Yes. And I mean, of course, Grand Rapids. Like, how, you might not know this offhand, but how, like, you're not very far south of the Manistee National Forest.
About a little more than an hour. Maybe.
Little more than an hour. Okay. Yeah. And then, and for anybody outside of Michigan, so we have like this whole chunk right here would basically be the Manistee National Forest. We have another national forest right up in this area, but the Manistee especially is known for like in terms of things outside of the UP. I'm not disregarding the UP. Y'all calm the fuck down. But anything outside of the UP, it's definitely associated heavily with Bigfoot and Dogman sightings.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because national forests actually are strong correlation with subterranean magina habitations as well. So if they are holographically, say one theory is they holographically project some of these things. It's not proven, but they run wild in areas where humans aren't. So they like national forests, and they like under the water too. But yeah, that's interesting.
And see, and that's interesting because a lot of the thing, like obviously the Fravor UFO videos, the ones that have been so popular the last few years, showed the unidentified object going in and out of water seamlessly, which is impossible for us, for humans, to have a craft that does that.
And another cool thing before we get too far is there's been some recent Mothman sightings in Chicago.
I am so glad you brought this up.
It went off the old, it's not the Sears Tower anymore, but it flew off towards Lake Michigan. There
have been many. There have been many.
Yeah. One at least one it flies off towards Lake Michigan, you know.
Yeah, no, there's actually a fucking, like, people have written books about it. There's a shout out to Small Town Monsters. If you've never heard of Small Town Monsters, that's a great YouTube channel you should follow, and you should look up their movies on Amazon Prime. They're all available for DVD purchase or on Amazon Prime. They also have a lot of free stuff on YouTube. Amazing stuff. And they did a whole thing about that. There's books written about it already. Not only that, I'm so fucking glad you brought this up, because so for anybody out there that doesn't know, I just started recently. I started a new job at a dispensary here in Lansing, and this dispensary is located like
oh hell
yeah! Oh my god, this is synchronicity, bro. This is fucking tripping me out a little bit right now. Because the dispensary is located, like, it kind of backs up on like a very small wooded area, and it's right, like, it's literally the first, you get off the freeway, turn right, it's the first building on the left, like 50 feet down the road. You know what I mean? It's right there. It's right near an overpass for a freeway, and it's kind of surrounded there by there's like a hotel, there's an abandoned there's like a Red Roof Inn, there's an abandoned apartment complex, and on the other side of the bridge there's a parking lot which holds a Taco Bell, a gas station, a liquor store, and my dispensary. And a friend of mine was driving home the other night, swear to God, and I 100% believe her. Because I fucking, she told this to me to my face. So I looked at her face while she was telling me this. I 100% believe this individual. She's driving home after work. She's going over the overpass, and she drives like, like a normal sedan, and she described a bat creature with a wingspan as big as her windshield. Like, it took up the whole windshield, swooped in like that, and fucking took up the whole windshield and flew up. She had to pull over because she thought she was about to crash. She literally pulled over to the side of the road after having this experience.
Was it over a river?
Over a freeway.
Oh, okay, over a freeway.
But I think there is water nearby, but I think it's a man-made pond.
Oh, okay.
Not a natural water source.
Okay.
But it like on a bridge, Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, and yeah, there is. I did research. I looked it up. There is absolutely no animal in the state of Michigan with bat wings that would be that big. The only actual thing with bat wings that I know of on Earth is the flying fox, which only exists, I believe, in Australia.
Yeah.
So no animal with that description should exist in mid-Michigan. And a friend of mine that I believe and that I trust saw this with their own eyes to the point where they had to pull over to the side of the road because they thought something was fucked up. So I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
But like that blew my mind the other night, and ever since then I've just been staring at the sky every time I'm at work, because it's literally like the bridge that she was driving over, I can see from the front door of work. So like I can just stand outside of the front door and look at it, and it's right there. And I've been staring at the sky every time I've been at work lately. Like, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I think it is anyway. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was the first time I'd ever had anyone give me some kind of cryptid sighting like that quickly. Like, it was yeah. And this individual is also from they're originally from the UP, so like they know the dog man and the Bigfoot stories and all that kind of stuff. And and yeah, they saw that, and I was like, what? Like, hang on, what? Like, tell this to me again. I'm gonna try to get him to tell it to me on at least voice recording or camera or something, so I can put it in something. But yeah, that was an amazing story to me.
Yeah, maybe you'll see it as well.
Right? No, that's oh my. I've been telling everybody we need to set up trail cams here, and here, so we have full vision of this bridge at all times. Like, that's where I immediately went to set shit up to monitor the possible cryptid we have living near our dispensary.
Awesome.
It's such a ridiculous thing. Oh yeah, fucking Mothman gets captured on camera outside of a weed store. I don't know if
hopefully it's not stealing your product.
Well, I'll sacrifice to it.
That's cool.
It'll go down. But oh shit, we have gone over an hour. I'm so sorry.
Are you good?
But all right, Jeff. I mean, like, we got like 2 minutes left till this thing cuts out again. You want to wrap it up? You gonna do a
Yeah, man. Real quick.
And no, plug everything. Plug everything again. Yeah.
Okay. So I also got the Kaptain Kollnot
yes
project.
Oh, yes.
My last time we talked, Future Human was not out yet. I don't think it was done, but it came out September 22nd last year. And I'm in the process of recording a new one, which I'm hoping to release sometime next year. That'll probably be a full length, because there's just tons of material. It's going to focus somewhat on the ufology and cryptoterrestrial stuff, but other topics too. So
fantastic. And what are one more time for Flood the Desert? What are the dates coming up?
July 8th, Mulligan's, Grand Rapids, 9/1 the Avenue, and 9/23 Mulligan's again. Avenue's Lansing.
Yes. And all of those, of course, all things Flood the Desert and Kaptain Kollnot and everything else from Jeff will be linked in the description below. And of course, follow him and us on all social media. All of it will be posted as it's coming up. Like, I will certainly share all of that. But as always, man, like, we definitely cannot let if it actually has been a year, I'm gonna look that up. But if it actually has been a year, we cannot let another year go by.
Oh, no, not at all.
Look at that. Oh, what do we got here? Let me see the body.
We're out of time, probably, but
I can't hear it. It's not coming through.
it sounded a little bit in there,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. No, dude. Yeah, no. We definitely cannot let this much time go by again. I'll certainly be at the show in Lansing. But before that, I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but if I do make it to the show at the Pyramid Scheme on Saturday, I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
And but other than that, man, like, yeah, I'll send you that horror museum stuff.
Mhm.
I think you'll really dig that. There's one in Lansing too that just opened. Not necessarily with the same kind of like notoriety, you know what I'm saying? But like,
Okay.
still kind of cool. So if you ever wanted to check that out, I'd check it out with you. Um,
Right
and
on. Yeah, for sure.
and I'm definitely hoping to put together a bit of a kind of like a more like a I don't know, kind of more like of a real like sort of uh investigation of some kind at some point this summer, and I'll be sure to include you on that if you're interested.
Yeah, I haven't done well. I went on a tour of uh th- this lunatic asylum in West Virginia. We were on vacation recently, but
What
that was
was it?
just
What was it called?
Trans Allegheny.
Trans Allegheny? Oh my!
Yeah,
Oh,
cool
what?
place.
I've
Did
always that's on my bucket list, bro. I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah, I went there. Um, didn't see anything that time, but they do there. They do the paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
They charge a lot of money for them, unfortunately. But
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, a
there's a
lot.
lot of stuff there, though.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally. You
yeah.
know, like a lot of those. You know, do you know what hauntedusa.com is? Have you ever heard of hauntedusa.com?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, they like, you know, a lot of the places you see on the TV shows or whatever, you can buy a ticket. It's usually somewhere between $100 and $200 and they'll lock you in overnight. But they'll feed you and all that stuff and you can leave whenever you want. But there are a few that are a little bit more they don't go through that service, put it that way.
Hmm.
And there's a place just like maybe I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes south of here called the Stimson Hospital in Eaton Rapids, Michigan. That was a pretty interesting place. Like, and it's not that expensive to get, you know, like locked in overnight. You know,
Hmm.
that place, Fort Wayne in Detroit, is probably the place I've been to with where I've had the most experiences almost out of anywhere. And the Dundee Mill in Dundee, Michigan, um, also not terribly expensive and fucking lot. I personally had a lot of experience there. So, you know, these are some places we could look into, certainly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely some shit we could check out. And I would personally also um love to return to Hell's Bridge if you would
Yeah,
ever
man. Yeah, I'm
done
down.
that.
Haven't
So
been there in about a year, so I'm ready.
I haven't been there since 2007 or 8. So yeah, like I would definitely love to go back. That'd be outstanding. But all right, man, I'll let you go. I'll let you get to your night. Yeah, you gave me like well over an hour at this point, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
As always, like it means the world to me. And this episode, I'll let you know when this episode will be out. Should be out sometime next week,
All right.
maybe the following week.
That's cool.
But yeah, man. Thank you so much as always. And anytime you want to hit me up for anything, be on the show, just chat. We don't even have to record. We could just hop on Zoom sometime and chat. I'm down. Um, just hit me up whenever you want, buddy. All right.
For sure, man. Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, man.
All
As
right.
always, great talking to you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
I'll talk to you again, man. All right.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And there it is, everyone. No, that was an absolutely phenomenal episode from the bottom of my heart. I can never ever thank Jeff for coming back on the show. Now, I think twice now, but apparently it's been like damn near a year since we did the last one. That will never happen again. That will certainly I hate it when I realize that's the situation. It's been months and months and months. I feel like because you know we like see each other from time to time. We communicate a lot. So it never really feels like it. But then I look back and I'm like, oh shit, it's been a long time since they've been on the show. So thank you, Jeff, for coming back. As always, you are welcome back anytime. As far as I'm concerned, this is as much my platform as it is yours. And everybody be sure to check out all things Kaptain Kollnot, Jeffrey Kollnot, Flood the Desert, links in the description below. And hopefully we have been talking. Hopefully he will make some contributions to for my other podcast, Follow the Reaper, where we delve into listener submitted true paranormal first or second hand encounters. Any experience that you or anyone you know have ever had in your entire life that might be described as paranormal, and you want them shared on the show, send it to me. Send it to Lost in the Dark, all of our social media, or at lostinthedarkpodcast@gmail.com, or any of Follow the Reaper's social media, Follow the Reaper podcast at gmail.com. I would love to hear your stories. If you want to type it out, I'll narrate it. If you want to send in an audio clip, I will be happy to play it and work around it. I'm desperate for more people's true paranormal stories to come in, for more episodes of that show to come out. So if you or anyone you know has one, send it on over. But without further ado, that's going to do it for this episode, my friends. Thank you so much for checking us out. And as always, we'll be back again soon with so much more. But until next time, raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads to some Kaptain Kollnot and to some Flood the Desert. Check out all things. Links in the description below. Love you all to death. Good night.
Lost in the dark.